Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we're in Camelford. We've come to Camelford today. There's romance in the air. It's soon to be Valentine's and we're going to take you on a little love story. In this week's video we have romance, a Doc Martin wedding and
wife selling.
I knew that was covered. Camelford is an ancient town with its founding charter dating back to 1259. Its importance sprang up partly due to the fact you could cross the River Camel here. Today it offers the opportunity to explore nearby Bodmin Moor and the fabulous North Cornish coast. Camelford is on the north coast of Cornwall, near Boscastle.
For our walk today, we've parked here. This is a Churchfield car park. It's February 2022 and we've paid £1.50 for up to 5 hours.
This shop has quite a notoriety for having everything in it that you can imagine.
I've got a feeling this video is going to be really groovy, baby.
Really excited to be in Camelford today. We're going to follow the river walk. It's been a bit wet overnight, so we're anticipating it being a little bit muddy underfoot. We'll have to wait and see. Pretty, isn't it?
Gorgeous, isn't it? So do you know how Camelford gets its name, Sarah? Because I do.
Go on then.
Well, all the old guidebooks I've been reading tells me this is linked to King Arthur and this was Camelot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is that not what you think?
No, I thought it was just simply that you forded the River Camel.
Ah, Camelford.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, if we've got this wrong, all the locals are going to get the hump with us.
Very good. Although I think a lot of Camelford does play on the camel bit with the camel weatherbane. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I've seen lots of references to camel.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I always find signs of spring are so uplifting. It's the joy of all those flowers coming out once more and new life coming through nature, isn't it? I just love it.
So, Sarah, you know I've got a lot of celebrity friends.
I do!
Good, I'm glad you do. Well, one of them phoned me up the other night. Do you remember Boy George?
I do!
From the pop band's Culture Club from the early 1980s. He phoned me up and we were having a chat and he told me about the time he came and did a camping holiday here near Camelford. It's actually an inspiration for his song.
Right.
The Culture Club.
Yes.
Yeah. Camel, 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 chameleon.
Oh dear.
No?
We've taken this walk today from Visit Camelford website. I'll put the link in the description below. It's called the Three Churches Walk. The first part of this walk follows the valley of the River Camel. It's babbling along beside us here, a constant companion. I did notice on the board back there it said that it's also a bluebell wood. So I'm expecting spring in a few months' time be covered in bluebells. It does cover 3 churches today. The first one is Advent Church, which is just at the start of Bodmin Moor, just encroaching on it a little bit. It's a church in the middle of nowhere. The second church is Lanteglos Church, and the third one is back in Camelford, St Thomas's, all of which have lovely stories, and we're hoping to tell them to you today. The St Thomas's Church is Victorian, isn't it? Which is unusual for such an old town.
Yeah, and that's the church in Camelford, near the car park. For years, where we're heading now, Advent Church and also Lanteglos, where we're going to end up, were the church for Camelford. So can you imagine, back in like the 1700s or 1800s, taking this riverside path to the church?
In your Sunday best, with all this mud.
It is quite muddy, isn't it?
It's quite grim. This is called Fentaroon Bridge. Isn't it just gorgeous? See those huge granite slabs holding it up. I'm going to go over the other side and see if I can get a really good photo. No, that's a fail. Oh.
That's it. What's that one?
Yay!
Oh, it's beautiful.
I really don't think that bridge is going anywhere in a hurry. It is so chunky. It's amazing.
Wow. Gosh, wasn't expecting that.
Steep, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, you're too quick for me. Yeah. Going this way. This is joyful today. It's really relaxing. I've had a busy week working, doing the channel, and the sun, the gentle river. It's absolutely wonderful. Really enjoying this so far. I expect when I start climbing up the hill to the other church it might be a different matter, but at the moment, beautiful. So we're kind of walking through a water meadow, which does make it a little bit sticky underfoot. And we are now coming up to what the instructions describe as a wooden footbridge put in 1921 by the Ramblers Association. I wonder if this is the actual original structure then, because if that's the case, it's 101 years old. It's faring very well.
You said 1921?
Yeah.
Must have been renovated since then. That timber doesn't last that long.
Should just check.
It's
Probably last year, innit? If that went in last year, that's in bad condition.
probably 1991.
Yeah. So this is Trithin Manor. And let's have a look at the instructions, see what it tells us. Look at that old manor house. Apparently it dates back, the instructions say 1337.
God, that's a long time, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
It's like nearly 20 to 2.
Just after lunch.
After lunch, yeah.
That's interesting. I said Trithin and
Yeah.
you said
Trethin.
Trethin. Which one's right then? Oh, debate.
Ask a local.
Nobody here.
Do you know where we're going?
Yes, we're going to take this stile, go past 2 trout ponds, and then there should be a stile in the corner of a field that leads us to Advent Church. The wind is whipping around up here. I think through these gates you get more of a sense that you're on Bodmin Moor.
Before we go in,
Oh, yeah?
something I want to show you.
Oh, what?
We're being watched.
Where?
Have a look. Have you seen it?
Yes! Look at that! Oh, how wonderful! Wow.
Incredible, isn't it?
Actually looks like a woman with a ruff around her head. You know, a Tudor headdress
Oh, yeah,
on.
it does, isn't it?
I think this door might be tricky. To open the door, please pull handle towards you and then turn anti-clockwise.
Is the dog allowed in?
We'll time up. This moorland parish is dedicated to St Adwenna, but little is known about her except that in Cornwall she is the patron saint of sweethearts, and that was long before St Valentine.
This is a marvellous sort of barreled ceiling above me, and it's got some old timber works there. And in the middle, staring down, there is a carved face. I wonder if that's St Adwenna.
I'm getting ready to go out in that bracing breeze should have instructions for closing the door too. The instructions are telling us to retrace our steps down towards the wooden footbridge, the other side of Trethin or Trethin.
Right,
okay.
where we were earlier on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to head to Lanteglos. So this has been the Church of Love, of St. Adwena, St. Valentine.
So the church of the Cornish sort of sweethearts?
Yeah, falling in love. And we're now going to head to a church and talk about a wedding.
Oh, okay.
Come us on.
Okay, so it definitely says go over the footbridge.
Yeah.
Where we are now.
Into the water meadow.
Okay, well let's go into the water meadow and see if there's any signs or anything like that, because I think we need to be turning left at some point.
So this is the water meadow with the water reeds that we were in earlier, and that's the path we came down there. So there's a path, obviously we could go back up that one and through the woods to a road that we know about. There's this path straight in front of us. There's a third path continuing down beside the river. I think it might be this path because I can see it goes up into woodland and I can hear traffic above the babble of the brook. I don't want to pull out the ordnance because I feel as though we should be able to do it from the instructions, but might just double check. So at this point here we're crossing the river on the wooden footbridge. We came down this one earlier, we've gone up to Advent Church which is there, come back, and we're going to choose to take this option there. If you see the contour lines, it goes up quite steeply to the B3266 which is mentioned in the instructions, and I think that it's this path. The dog knows, we'll follow him. Okay, I feel confident we're going the right way. Just a wobble on the instructions there, but I think we're okay now. Oh, okay, so it is on a minor road. Let's cross. Okay, and we can see the footpath sign. Brilliant, so it's pretty much in line. We are now going to try and cross the main, like, north coast road that goes from Weybridge up towards Bude. It can be quite busy, although look, are we in luck, Andrew? Are we? Oh my goodness. Do you know, that makes it very uneasily easy. Isn't it beautiful here? Right.
Camellia.
I know, it's stunning.
Literally first week of February.
Yeah.
That's looking beautiful,
I
isn't it?
know. Beautiful big blousy blossoms. Anyway, do you know where we're going?
No.
Okay, I'll get the phone out.
Again, yeah.
Right, so it says take special care to cross the A39 and look for the waymarked path through Tramagena, which is here.
Okay.
So we're on course. From here the path is marked by white posts across Bowood Park Golf Course.
I need to look at the map again.
Oh, you're making me doubt it again. This is fun today.
We're taking a left?
Yeah, we've referred to the map and we feel that it's this way. That doesn't look promising, it says private.
Right, okay, let's get the ordnance survey out.
There's no white posts yet, obviously, because it's not on the golf course, but it doesn't seem to get you from this little hamlet to the golf course. Look what I've just spotted. A waymarker post. Okay.
I thought this was someone's driveway.
I did too. So go down past the two white vans.
So when you do the walk, it's by these two white vans?
Yeah, and the pink camellia. Right, so we found a stile now. Hooray. Okay. Oh, are we? Oh. We're on the golf course. Hello. Not sure if it's us today or the instructions, but I feel that the only thing is really helping us is the ordnance survey.
So we're now walking through the golf course. There's another marker here. Oh, I see. These are white markers, but they're not white anymore. Well, it sort of is white. Needs a lick of paint, I think.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yes, these are what we're supposed to be following.
Oh my goodness me. This could be fun then. Are you ready for the Benny Hill music?
You got any golf clubs in that bag?
Oh, where are we? winging it here. They're teeing off up there, so the balls are going to come flying down from over there. Right, looking for another marker post now. Can't see one anywhere. I wasn't expecting to do compass on a golf course.
No.
Okay.
Nobody's told us to
go away yet.
No.
After all that, we found a marker post. Oh, would you believe it? There we go. Oh.
So I was always told that white posts on the golf course were out of bounds markers.
Right.
And if you think about it, they're always on the edge of the golf
Yeah.
course. But that is obviously what we're looking for. It must be down there.
Right, come on, we're going to run out of time on that car parking ticket at this rate. Wandering around a flaming golf course all afternoon.
I only paid till 4!
You can't say that, everybody's going to go, oh! Makes such a difference being a little bit lower down. The wind goes over the top of you then. And we're heading towards Lanteglos Church. This church was used in Doc Martin as a filming location for the first time that they tried to get married.
So that'll be Doc Martin and the lovely
Louisa.
Doc Martin is a British TV series starring Martin Clunes. It's about a doctor in a small remote village called Portwen in Cornwall. Most filming happens in the Cornish village of Port Isaac, but some locations are outside of the village, like here at Lanteglos Church near Camelford.
If you haven't watched the episode, then you might want to skip this little bit. So we're talking series 3, episode 7, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes. So in this episode, they used 2 churches to film the wedding sequence. The outside of this one, but the inside is St Mabin's Church near Bodmin. So we got a few shots and we'll marry them up, I think. And from start to finish, the whole episode is just a comedy of errors, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Everything
it's
that could go wrong.
It's one disaster after another.
Yeah.
In fact, well, one of the ladies gave birth, didn't she?
Yeah, the bridesmaid ends up, she's pregnant and gives birth on the day of the wedding. After firing a party popper in her eye.
Yeah, and that's after Doc Martin had actually knocked out the vicar who was supposed to be doing the service.
And broke his hip.
If we put too many spoilers out.
Yeah.
So in the filming of the Doc Martin episode, the church was actually called St Roger's, so welcome to St Roger's.
In the morning of the day of the wedding, the vicar comes to see Doc Martin. He ends up hurting his head and he gets really annoyed with Doc Martin. Leaves the surgery in a huff, doesn't want to see him again. So Doc Martin feels he's got to make amends. So he comes to the church, walks down this path to find the vicar in the vestry. Action! Nails it. But next time, give it a bit more pep, you know.
My motivation.
Your motivation is that you want to make amends.
I'll do it again.
Action! Still looks like Fury to me. Concerned that you're not going to marry Louisa, the love of your life. You want to make amends. Action! Doc Martin's discussions, apologies with the vicar don't quite go to plan, and they have a bit of a tussle, resulting in the vicar breaking his hip, and he is taken on a stretcher back up to the main entrance. Yeah, it's the same place, isn't it? The box has just grown up a little bit. Cool!
The ambulance is gone.
Let's take a look inside this church. It has pews and the altar is different to that in the filming, proving that they used a different church for the inside. Al's restaurant is flooded and they're forced to host the reception in a marquee at the church. So let's go and find that spot now. Have you got an idea where that might be?
What, Bert and Al's marquee?
Yes.
I think it was down in that corner down there.
I agree. And it was some years ago now. When was it filmed? 2007.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. So
There's obviously more gravestones in there.
yeah, it looks like it. It's very easy to test if all the gravestones are post 2007. Then this area's been filled in since the filming. This grave is August 2012, and the one next door is 2015. 2014.
It's back in 2007. This was all completely just vacant land, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, I think that concludes our little bit around Lanteglos Church.
It's a lovely church, isn't it? It's sort of settled down. It's quite low, isn't it?
So in our video today we've had St Adwena, the Cornish saint of sweethearts, falling in love. We've had Lanteglos Church, where Doc Martin tried to marry Louisa. The next thing we're going to tell you is a really fascinating story, but we've got to go back to Camelford to tell you that. And it's quite a short road trip back, not road as in car, but walking along a road. So we'll scoot back there now.
So we'll pick you up in Camelford.
Yes. We're now back in Camelford, coming down Chapel Street. Some really gorgeous properties in this. It's called Back Street as well, apparently, according to the instructions. Look at this old cottage. Classic of the area, isn't it, with those stout chimneys, really thick walls.
So that's the old chapel, Sarah. There's a date at the very top. It says 1810.
I love the conversion. Look at that door.
Beautifully done, isn't it?
So to conclude our love story, our love triangle, we've fallen in love at Advent Church. We've had a wedding sequence at Lanteglos.
We did, a wedding. It almost happened.
So what happens now?
To complete the circle.
Happily ever after?
Oh, yeah.
No. Wife selling.
What?
Yeah!
In Camelford?
In Camelford.
What's wrong with them?
Outside the Guildhall.
Wife selling?
Wife selling.
Are you sure?
Let's just tell you a bit more about wife selling. According to Wikipedia, the English custom of wife selling began in the 17th century when divorce was practically impossible for all but the very wealthy. A husband would publicly auction his wife to the highest bidder. Historic characterisation for Regeneration Camelford makes reference to wife selling by John Cook in 1812, who sold his wife for 2 shillings and 6pence in the public market.
Wife selling?
Yeah.
Can you do that anymore?
No.
Oh, they outlawed it, have they?
Why, what are you thinking?
Well, I don't know, how much would I get?
2 shillings.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh,
So is this a Guildhall then?
I think so. It's now the library, but there's nothing to indicate either way. I don't know.
So this is the beautiful building with the weather vane on the top,
And
with
the clock tower.
With the clock tower and the camel.
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Can you just stand in front of that shop there for me, please?
Right.
Right, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right, bend down. Just cross there, just a little bit.
Why?
You need to be there, look.
Why?
Wife selling.
I knew that was coming. Here, Andrew.
Hello.
You know you get travel agents.
Oh yeah.
You get estate agents.
Yeah.
Would you get a spouse agent?
We might do in Camelford.
And if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe. It's free on YouTube. Our walk today started here in the town of Camelford and followed the River Camel through fields, didn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful, to Fenterine Bridge.
We walked all the way up to Advent Church.
Found out about St Adwena.
Yes, and then we wandered across, got completely lost on the golf course. Ended up at Lanteglos Church.
Yeah,
yes.
to find a Doc Martin filming location, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The route back to Camelford is pretty straightforward, and we then had a story about wife swapping. No, wife selling.
Wife swapping video might be more popular.
So how would you score this walk?
Well, we score our walks out of 10. I think it's a 7 out of 10 for me because we got slightly lost. The instructions are a bit vague, and the map is more of an illustrated map rather than a map you'd get on an ordnance survey.
And we did have to refer to our ordnance, so it has to be knocked back a little bit. But there's loads of information, and it's a pretty good walk. So 7 is fair.
We've had a lovely day in Camelford.
Brilliant.
Really enjoyed my walk around Weybridge today, sir.
You're in Camelford.
Oh, Camelford. Oh, I've made a boob.